What's up, guys? Sorry for being absent on the channel for a while. Basically, I'm in a trip and cannot record video that frequently. We'll return to the same schedule very soon. So let's look at the price of Bitcoin today. What happened? And yeah, we have the continuation of the rally. Congratulations, everyone who is holding longs. So what do we see here? I would like to share a few things on the current situation with you guys. Of course, I posted everything on Telegram and Twitter, but just some more details on that thing. First of all, here we have the rising wedge. You know, the rising wedges are usually breaking to the downside, and it doesn't mean that it indeed will happen, but at least probability of this pattern is in favor of bears. But yeah, we are in a bull market. Well, at least it seems like. You remember, I was telling that if we are going to the zone above the previous high, then the chances for the fact that this is the accumulation and this is the start of the bull market are rising really high. And this is exactly what we see. In fact, this rise is even too much organic. I already pointed this out. Every correction which we had has the low at the previous high, so resistance becomes support, and again, and now we went above the previous high again. So this is a classic growth, a classic situation, and it's even so pure that it's a little bit suspicious. Another thing which I noticed here is that the highs and lows are, well, almost fit the kind of the periodic structure here. So this is the high here, this is the low, 11 days between these, and this was not exactly the high here, but here is the low again after 11 days, here is the low again after 11 days, and now we are approaching the new high, either at 11 days, either high here, or maybe it will be a correction to this low here. And I would say that it might be that we'll go to something like here, $9,500, because it's more reasonable in my opinion than the previous high, like on the wicks of the candles. So if we'll find the support at $9,500 after the correction, if it will actually happen, then I would say that this is the very bullish sign and will continue to go higher. Moreover, if you remember, we had a very similar wedge or like wedge-like formation in 2019, spring, April. Here you see we also were moving up almost without significant corrections. Well, those are not that big after the accumulation, and instead of breaking it downwards, we actually moved much higher. So it's very likely, at least very possible, not very likely of course, very possible that the situation will repeat itself again. So we'll see about that. Although of course there are some bearish signs, local ones. For example, it was the green 9 on TD sequential, but yeah, after that it was already a couple of the red candles, and yeah, it's pretty much might be already played out. At the same time, we had this divergence, bearish divergence with some indicators, but again, on the bull market, it's very weak in terms of how it performs despite its 4 hours time frame. So yeah, maybe it's already over and we will able to continue to go higher. Moreover, here we had some weeks, scam weeks, to something like 9,640 or something, and yeah, those weeks pretty much liquidated a lot of the crazy longs which were open on this way up. But in any case, this situation is still not exactly bullish locally, at least, because we are approaching this point of the resistance, so we might have the pullback from that rejection and go lower, but still overall is pretty bullish. There is only two relatively bearish things. One is kind of laughable, but still after this growth we still have like at least 2 or 3 maybe gaps. This one is not covered on CME, but it's filled with the spot price. So we still have at least two gaps, and many people, a lot of the people are saying that the majority of the gaps should be filled. Well, guys, those are not filled yet, and why people don't say that they should be anymore? Because the price is going up, I guess. And the second thing, which I don't really like, and this is much more serious than the gaps meme, is that during the recent days, or maybe more than a week, we have the Bitcoin dominance going down. Altcoins are going up a lot, and yeah, this is not the thing which you would expect to see on the bull market for Bitcoin. This was the bull market for Bitcoin. You see, we grew a lot. Such a situation which we have now, when altcoins outperform Bitcoin, is usually happening when the bull market is around the closer to the end, maybe the last quarter of the bull market, like 2017, when Bitcoin was going high slower than the alts, and more altcoins appear, and more newbies were buying those alts and so on. But currently, at the beginning of the rise, this is very, very suspicious. I would say it's even kind of alarming. But in any case, it's a possibility that this is just the new paradigm, and we'll see this in a different way. So concluding all of that, what I want to say is, although, and again, I'm not 100% convinced that this was the bottom, and there's still a chance that this wedge will be broken downwards, and if the correction will be massive, then we might go very, very low. And yeah, all of that might appear to be a fake. And especially when we have this new high over the previous high, it's a perfect bull trap. But technically, again, this is just my personal opinion, but technically, this looks pretty bullish. So according to this kind of a standard approach for the major bull market, is what we are doing is that we are going all in on the in the long, right? And the point is, of course, you can just buy now and hold until the new all-time high, whenever it will come, and whichever the level it will be. But the other strategy, maybe a little bit more profitable, is to find the corrections, and those corrections might be 30, even 40%. So I would say that we might go, let's say, to something like $10,000 or even higher. Moreover, you remember we had this Fibonacci retracement levels for the linear scale. We are above the 38.2, and we are approaching to 50% retracement for the whole drop here, and this is $11,300, and also those are the levels for the historical resistance. So we are above this one, and we might go and touch this one and face this resistance here, have a pullback. So from that point, we might have this correction to be like 20, 30, even 40%. And at the bottom of this correction, it's very reasonable to go long, because, yeah, again, if you believe that this is the bull market, this is the point where you can get this nice trade for the future. And again, and again, and again. For the logarithmic time scale, it's also quite confluent. And here we have 61.8% at $9,600, a little bit higher. And again, the second one is 78.6. at $13,000, and it's about the same area which we had the peak of the overall rally which we had from beginning of 2019. So guys, my conclusion is that it's very, very likely that we are going to the new highs again, although I am a bit skeptical about that, and maybe a little bit too much in terms of I'm being too cautious maybe, but still, this is what we are seeing from the charts. So I wish you all good luck in for the future profits in this bull market. Hopefully it will happen, and yeah, I will keep you updated. I hope that it was useful, guys. Thank you for watching.